We have really great sponsors like the East San Gabriel Valley Partnership. And now for the morning buzz.
Yes.
Some people think that the Clintons have really gotten away with far too much.
Yeah, you know, CNN and other news outlets are not really letting the Trump surrogates, the Bernie surrogates, the candidates themselves talk about anything that happened back in the 90s. And so with us now is Dr. Genevieve Clavreul. Okay, you got to say it for me, Dr. Genevieve, because I've just messed that up.
Well, Clavreul, that's a good French
Clavreul, yes.
name. I am one
My
of those
French is
typical
horrible.
immigrants, you know.
I know we. That's all I know. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. You're a Trump supporter,
Yes,
and you've worked for other campaigns, like the McCain campaign. Is that right? Or
actually, yes, I've worked for McCain, Romney, Carly Fiorina, and Meg Whitman.
But you are an independent.
This
correct?
time I'm totally independent for Trump, and I have been from the beginning, because I don't want to be restricted of what I can say and do.
you want to be free to go anywhere and say anything
Because
about
when
the
you are
campaigns.
when you are in a campaign, you are really restricted.
Part of being in this country.
Yeah, and depending who's in charge and want to get their name known and so on. So
Well, I think it's been very interesting that the news outlets, some of the news outlets just shut down the surrogates for these campaigns. They come on and they start talking about Hillary Clinton, and there's a lot of deaths around the Clintons.
yes.
But no one's allowed to bring that up. Vince Foster he committed suicide, right? and things like
Is it
that.
people
But
just were dead, or is it that?
Well, I think one thing it's surprising is that because sometimes the media really cover a lot of the information, and people don't have the recollection to go back. Myself, I am very involved because I was involved early on in politics. And actually when Clinton came to the White House, I went to the first fundraising in California to bring money to his campaign.
to Bill Clinton's campaign.
Yes, to Bill
Very
Clinton's campaign.
interesting.
Your doctorate is actually in healthcare management,
Yes,
correct? So is
hospital.
that part of why he brought you in to get some of your?
No, I was also one of the few openly gay female. And I was at the right place at the right time. Because when I came in 1975 in California, I swear never to be in a closet again. And it was the right place. I was French. I used to be very skinny and cute. And my lover was also a PhD. So we were not the traditional, tough lesbian and so on. So every time the gay gave money to any political thing, they sent us. So we went to the $10,000 dinner and so on. Because I was French, we was Beverly Hills, he was lucky. So I got to know, Waxman, Kennedy, and all of those people because I had dinner with them all the time.
Wow.
And actually, like I said, the first dinner was organized by a gay man who is dead now, was a doctor. And he was at his house, and they raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in one day.
So how does a gay French woman who is supporting Bill Clinton and raising money for Bill Clinton become heavily involved in Republican candidates' campaigns?
Well, because you evaluate, sometimes, and actually I have never been, even though I label myself as a Republican, I am fiscally a Republican. I'm socially very liberal.
Do you think Trump brings that more to center?
He does. And I think, like myself, and it's why from the beginning, I know people were wrong about Trump. Because, I've been involved in politics for a long time in California.
But people are saying that Trump is a bigot, he's against anybody in the minority.
That's what you're hearing from the press and from few other people. I have been in California for like 30 years. I know thousands of people. I have been on television multiple times. Like I said, I go to all those dinners. And everybody I know, from the day one, told me they will vote for Trump. And, the same thing happened when Reagan was running. But, when we tried to get rid of Gray Davis, people say, oh, we will never recall it. And I know that was
And he was recalled, wasn't he?
you know why? Because
Yeah.
I taught people, I went to the restaurant. I asked the waitress, do you think we go to, oh yeah, sure, I cannot stand him anymore. Then when I saw union people passing out the recall paper, I knew we were going to recall it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with Trump now. You go anywhere, you ask people, They're going to vote for Trump.
Now, see, your experience is different than mine because a lot of people I talk to are like, "Oh no, he's a creep, he's crazy,
Because
he's a
people are
clown
scared, but they know
show."
you are from the press, and I think they take it totally different because people are scared.
So secretly in the ballot, at the polls, they're going to vote
Yeah,
for Trump. Is what
but
you're
I
saying.
said the people who are hardcore and really involved in politics all said they're going to vote for him.
So what do you think he will do to wrap his head around the whole Hillary or the Bill Clinton kind of scandal, the Billary things?
Well, I think he got to bring some issue, and sometimes if you bring it enough, people respond. You mentioned at the beginning that it was maybe a lot of death somewhere, around,
Yeah.
Clinton, But there's another thing, I have been very involved in HIV and AIDS from the beginning. And actually I was a negotiator between our two countries for 8 years. At one point when we were dealing with the White House, and at the time Leon Panetta was a chief of staff, you should ask him a question. I just hope that anybody of the press ask him the question, what he was doing during that.
Dr. Genevieve, thank you so much for being on with us. Will you come on to another Morning Buzz?
I would love to do it.
All right,
Great.
let's stay with us.
Great,
Thanks.
great.
And let's see, what do we have going on?
Coming up, Pathway Sycamores and the support that they provide for children and families.
Fabulous program.